When you think of classic American beers from the 60s and 70s, one name comes to mind: Old Milwaukee.
Affordable, approachable, and proudly Midwestern, it became a staple in bars, backyards, and ball games across the country.
Not only a name, but it represents a city that became known as the American brewing capital.
That's right. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Free Beer with Charlie. I'm Big Al, and this is Charlie.
By the mid-19th century, Milwaukee had already cemented its place in beer history.
Yeah, German immigrants were pouring into Wisconsin, and with them they brought the love of lager beer, which was crispier, lighter, more refreshing than the dark ales that America was used to.
Milwaukee offered the perfect brewing environment: cool caves for storage, ice from nearby rivers, and exceptional clear water drawn from deep Lake Michigan aquifers.
Yeah, that water chemistry gave their lagers a clarity and consistency that helped define the style.
By the mid-1800s, the city became known for brewing giants such as Schlitz, Blatz, Miller, and Pabst.
By the 1900s, Milwaukee breweries were shipping beer nationwide.
And slogans for Schlitz, like "the beer that made Milwaukee famous," were more than just marketing. They were a reflection of the city.
Milwaukee had become synonymous with great beer.
When you're out on Schlitz.
Unthinkable.
The beer that made Milwaukee famous.
In the 1930s, the Joseph Schlitz Brewing Company decided to create a beer that was both high quality and affordable, something for the everyday drinker.
That result was Old Milwaukee. The name itself was no accident. It tied the beer directly to the city's proud brewing tradition.
Production halted in 1942 when grain rationing during World War II forced the brewery to prioritize other brands.
But 17 years later, in 1959, Old Milwaukee returned, ready to reclaim its place in America's beer culture.
Old Milwaukee hit its stride in the 60s and 70s. With its easy drinking flavor and budget-friendly pricing, it became a staple at neighborhood taverns and backyard barbecues.
Yeah, and advertising leaned into the blue-collar identity. Old Milwaukee wasn't flashy. It was reliable, approachable, and proudly unpretentious.
The beer industry was changing by the late 20th century. Large beer companies were buying out smaller beer companies.
And by the 2000s, Pabst Brewing Company had purchased Stroh's brands, which included Old Milwaukee. Well, Charlie, it's right here in front of us. Maybe we should give it a try.
Yeah, we should probably stop yakking and start cracking.
Okay. That sounds good. Something to break these.
I'm a little off because of not having our little ice bucket out there.
I know, but there's really no mystery to this.
Yeah.
We've already talked
about it.
Yeah,
I think we already told what it was. We let the cat out of the bag.
Very nice. Very nice. Crystal clear.
I'm not sure, but it looks like classic American beer right there.
It does, doesn't it? Carbonation bubbles floating up. It looks refreshing.
It does.
It looks crisp and refreshing.
You don't get much better than good, clean beer. And oh my gosh, it is clear as can be.
It smells like beer.
Oh, that's like a classic lager smell right there.
Let's give that a taste.
Oh, wow.
It's hard to beat. I mean, to be honest with you. It's just slightly sweet. A little malty.
Yeah,
Just
and I was going to say, it's what you'd expect. And what's funny is, this is not the flavor I remember from when I was
when you're
younger.
5.
From when I was younger. I mean, this is one of those beers that was all over the farm. I mean, it was, in the shop, in the truck, in the tractor. I mean, that was just a staple. I mean, that was...
Yeah. Well, this was an inexpensive beer, like we said, made during the Depression, giving people a choice of quality, but still a low price.
Well, I think that's one thing, like, our generation doesn't grasp, is that, that Depression era, when they did something, they did it right. Because if somebody could afford it, they wanted it to last.
Yeah, everything needed to last.
Yes, and it had to because of the economy and everything going on.
It reminds me of my granddad when he was, during the Depression, he had a fairly new car, if it wasn't brand new. He rolled it down the hill and never drove it anymore because he couldn't get tires, he couldn't get oil, and he couldn't get gas. So it was of no use for them at all.
Yeah. And I've got a brother that restores antique cars and trucks, and I asked him one time, why do you do the Depression years? And he said, well, it's when our country was at its worst, but everything was built to last.
Yeah.
They actually had pride in that time, and you don't think of that. You think of Depression, everybody was hurting and needing so much stuff, but when they made something, they made it right and they made it to last.
Right. And this came out of that era,
Yeah.
which is pretty interesting.
And it's amazing. It's a neat thing that we can get it again.
Yeah, very nice. A lot of these old beers are very similar, but they have their own little unique twist.
And that's what's funny is because that was such a brewing capital in that
Yeah.
time that they were similar, but
so many of them were just making lagers.
Right.
Crazy.
but it's funny that you said you hit the nail on the head with the fact that they're so close, but they have their own uniqueness to it.
And people would probably argue and arm wrestle and everything else over which one was best.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they were knocking down dragouts over that. Oh, that's good. Well, Big Al,
Charlie?
here's to God, guns, and rock and roll.
Amen.
Amen.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Well, that concludes episode 2 of our series. Be sure to check us out next time for, what would it be, episode 3?
Yeah. I think that does come after 2.
All right.
I didn't have to take my shoes off for that one.
Hey. Until then, this is Charlie,
This is Big Al.
and we'll see you later. Yeah, that water chemistry gave the grits
And a grit. To major brewing companies such as Slits, Blatz, Pabst, Miller, and Blatz, Pabst, Slits.
Oh, whoa, look at that.